feeling really anxious and angry about what's going on. What's going on?
I'd like to tell you because we're all in a once in a lifetime time of energy that we've never felt or experienced. And the first of those experiences came November the 19th of last year. The planet Pluto moved into the sign Aquarius. So we're now in the Aquarian age for the first time. And it's been 250 years since this planet was in that situation. And if we look at what was going on, it was the Revolutionary War. And the people that were here were angry and they didn't want to have the king anymore. And so they fought like devils and they got us out of it. So that was the first one. And then, of course, in the middle of the end of uh, March, the second planet, and these are what's called outer planets, which means they're slow moving.
So the ones are way out.
Way out, and they move slowly. So 250 years it takes for the planet uh, Pluto to make a circle or a cycle.
They're sure creating a lot of energy.
Yes, and we don't know how to deal with it because we've never had it. So you're on the money. So the second planet came at the end of March, and it's the planet Neptune. And it has a cycle of 166 years. So we're not 166 years old. So what happened, of course, is that we said, well, what was going on then? The Civil War. That's war too. And so lots of people are talking about we're having a civil war already. Well, literally, we are. It's the same thing.
Well, and isn't it all about freedom? I mean,
Eventually.
Yeah.
And then we had the third one in June, the planet Uranus, which is like shock and awe and surprise and nothing you ever thought of. And it came into the sign Gemini, which is like air and craziness and futureness. And the last time we had that was 84 years ago. And that was when we had World War II. And that's when we got Pearl Harbor. Surprise. So, what we know is that each of us has no capacity yet to deal with this.
So how should we?
So there's ways to do it. Yeah. There's all kind of tricks of the trade. And so one of the things that I know is that if you're aggravated or anxious, you have to change your breathing. And you have to have yogic breathing like you did in the olden days of the 60s and 70s. And you have to inhale deeply, you have to count, and then you need to exhale. And you need to do that 10 times. And that will change you from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system. There's books on it. There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can go to a really good yoga school that people that practice the breathing, and you can learn how to do it. I was fortunate because I did that in 1969, so I'm still doing it. I do it every morning.
Well, and just kind
so
of
the sound,
the energy,
yes, the sound,
energy that the planets are putting
yes,
on us.
yeah. So what you're doing is you're adding to what just came in and drove us crazy. So you're adding a layer that's going to make you feel better. So that's one thing. Then another thing is that you have to have sound, and it's not just your breathing. You will notice as you're sitting in my office that I have one sound, which is the ocean, the other one, which is water that's sound. And those are things that calm you down. Sleeping calms us down. And when you're in anxiety, it's very, very hard to sleep. So I recommend that any of us, myself included, we do breathing before we try to go to sleep because that helps. So that's one of the things that's going on. But there's a lot of things that are being uncovered. Certainly, we all remember with the pandemic, something changed. And one of the things that changed is that in 1918, we had a pandemic. who was still alive in 2020? It's the same idea. So if it was difficult to get through the pandemic, it's difficult to get through what we're just talking about. Therefore, you have to probably calm yourself down and do what the chimps do. The chimp has 98.6% of our DNA. They live in a 50-person support community, and so should we. And those of us that are older, we grew up in a world where everything was simple and connected and predictable. And so our nervous systems did not get into the situations that people that are living now are overwrought with fear. And my understanding of fear is it's false events appearing real. So you have to use your imagination to visualize things that are beautiful and hopeful and things that you enjoy. And one of the things that I always remember, there was a famous person years ago that was given a terrible, you're going to die. And he says, I don't think I'm going to do that. He got into the Beverly Hills Hotel, and for 3 months, he watched Mark's movies and he laughed for 3 months, which is a neural pathway. And guess what happened? He was healed. So there are a lot of things we can do for ourselves that change the whole foundation of things. I recommend to myself and to everybody else, do not read the newspaper. Do not listen to the news. Only find something that's joyful and interesting. Use your brain that way. Because really, when you get anxiety, it's because your brain is off the rail.
And so I can make an appointment with you to come back
Of
in.
course you can, because
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do. I've done them all because I was born a very, very, very anxious child.
Okay.
I pulled my hair out. I did all kinds of things. So I really have a whole lot of things we can do. And when you're ready, just nanhalllinky.com. And I'm there to help you.